Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you're all having a great morning so far. I know the past few days we've just been preparing, talking all about this winter storm that's approaching. Jim, give us a little bit of the rundown right now. What are we looking at?
One of the things that I'm seeing with this storm is this kind of a classic eastern North Carolina wintertime event. And when I say that, to me that means you get a brief period of snow and sleet initially. I expect that. Tomorrow, late afternoon, evening, the arrival time is pushed back. So initially a little snow, a little sleet, a pretty quick change over to freezing rain. We see that often during the wintertime storms here. And then the freezing rain typically changes to rain. And that's likely what will happen here for most of us. Not all of us, but most of us. Starting tomorrow, sunset, the sleet, snow, overnight, a change to freezing rain. Into Sunday, more of a rain event for most of us. The way it looks, that could change. And then as we get into Sunday night, the rain starts pulling away, and as it does so, maybe a brief changeover on the backside. And I'll talk about all that. Timing's a little later, starting around sunset Saturday, and that rain to ice line shifting a little further inland. Details in a little bit.
Okay, gotcha. So, and over the past few days here on our What's Brewing segment, we've been doing quite a few stories about winter weather preparation. I know yesterday we talked about power outages and the potential for what to do if you see any downed power lines, if you're without power. Today we do have a story about car safety in the winter weather, how to kind of deal with any kind of problems you may have with your car. If you really need to be outside during this weather, if you need to hit the road, some of the details. We were able to speak with some people who are car professionals, talking about some advice on what to do there.
Nice.
Mechanics in Greenville are hard at work this week fixing cars. They say there's a lot of things you can do to avoid your car ending up here after a winter storm that could potentially hit the east. Car service advisor Chad Styron offered some advice to keep you and your car safe when ice or snow hits. He says first and foremost, if you start to slip on an icy road, try to relax.
Make sure to remain calm on the road. You do not want to start pulling your wheel left and right if you do go into slippery or anything along those lines.
Styron said it's important to start your car at least 15 minutes before you need to go and don't rush onto the road with an icy windshield. He added that you should always check the tread on your tires when driving in wintry conditions. If you're close to the wear bar indicator and your tires are bald, you don't want to have that on a slippery road. Greenville resident Kristen Colclough also offered another recommendation.
The other thing I would use is maybe a sheet and put that on top of your windshield before the snow starts.
Styron said a common mistake he sees is people pouring hot water on their windows.
Yes, so if you pour steaming hot water on your windshield, there's a very high chance that with the cold and hot meat, it's going to cause cracking through the windshield.
One Greenville resident said the biggest problem he sees in the snow is people just driving wildly.
I'd say that the habit of assuming and not being courteous to your other fellow driver, pedestrian, anybody, that's the problem people really need to get rid of.
Yeah, so just keep in mind, especially if you do need to get out, if you're working Sunday morning, Saturday night, if you really do have to be outside, just really keep in mind what to do when you're on the roads, because I know those roads can get really icy, really dangerous fast.
Oh yeah, and especially this will be a pretty cold weather event, so it won't take much precipitation before the roads do start getting slick, and that'll be probably a little bit after sunset tomorrow. The daytime hours tomorrow generally look good. Now, one note about the sheet on the car, I did that once. The moisture melted under the sheet and then refroze, and I had that thing ripped into shreds. I had that tarp, pieces of it all over the car. I couldn't get it. It was a mess.
Yeah.
So be careful with that if you're going to do that.
Mind.
Yeah, that might backfire on you. Let's get over to the weather computer.
Sure.
We'll dig into some of the details here on the potential winter weather event taking shape here. And again, our first alert day is kicking in late tomorrow and continuing tomorrow night. Sunday night into Monday morning. The winter storm watch continues to run from pretty much Ahoskie, Windsor, Williamston, Greenville, Snow Hill, Kinston, down to Kenansville. Those counties, those cities and the counties are within, and points to the west. I like to say the Highway 17 corridor, give or take. It's just a good broad guideline on that. And then to the east, no watch. The impacts going to stay pretty low back there. You'll probably get a little bit of a mix, maybe a little bit of ice, but the core of the storm a little west of you guys. And again, that track, the storm developing later today, tonight, into tomorrow south of us. That moisture starts taking a ride northward tomorrow afternoon. Notice I've got Saturday afternoon on there into the overnight. Light snow and sleet to start. And that might be a freezing rain on the coast even as it starts. But I think most of us will at least get a little brief period of some light snow and sleet. And then Sunday night or Saturday night into Sunday morning, the transition to rain to freezing rain as we work through the overnight and into the morning hours. All right, and this is where things, we have to start watching that rain to freezing rain line. That map will probably hold similar to what you're seeing there as we go into Sunday afternoon and overnight. Although I think, based on the latest data, that rain line may make a kick further inland. Some of the data has it all the way over to I-95. That would help a lot if indeed that happens. Based on the latest data, this is generally what we're thinking right now. White shaded area, generally the coast, no accumulations, sleet or snow. You get inland, we've got primarily sleet, but there'll be some snow as you get around Highway 64 northbound. That's where you make more of a transition to snow up there. The up to 1 inch, the white shaded area, maybe a dusting to 1 inch for Washington, Plymouth, Greenville, Snow Hill, Kinston, back towards Mount Olive. Further north, Rocky Mount, up towards Ahoskie, Fay, you might get a couple, 2 to 3 inches up there way to the north as we get into the overnight evening hours before you change as well to freezing rain. The core of the crippling snows, Virginia, and north central North Carolina, looks like a little north of Raleigh. That's where they'll start to really measure some snow back there. This is more the concern for us, the freezing rain accumulation. How much ice do we build up? I like the contours here. I think they may shift a touch further west, but that gradient from nothing to a half an inch from the coast to I-95, that will hold. It just may shift west or east a little bit, those contours. Right now the trend is more west, which is what we want to see. 10th to maybe a 2/10 for Greenville up to Williamston, back into Ahoskie, up to a 1/4 inch possible. You start getting over a 1/4 inch, that's when we start getting power outages generally back to the west. Certainly I-95 corridor, Rocky Mount, Wilson, into maybe western Wayne County, or significant impacts back that way. And then again, Highway 17 eastward, doing okay generally the way it looks right now. So late tomorrow, the late afternoon, evening, precip moves in probably after 4 p.m. Initially light sleet and snow for most areas. I showed you the accumulation maps. Slick roads by the evening hours. Assume that will happen by 5, 6 o'clock. So have everything done by mid-afternoon tomorrow. That is later than we were thinking. So a little bit of a break there. And then as we get into late Saturday night, Sunday night, freezing rain inland, rain on the coast, Highway 17 corridor, give or take the dividing line, the transition line. I talked about that ice inland and the impacts that you could feel back there. Get some flashlights, stock up on supplies if you live well inland. And if we get lucky, it ends up changing to mostly rain. We don't have to deal with it. But right now, assume that that may happen, all right, as we continue to keep an eye on that transition line. Out the door right now, got a sprinkle or two in Chinquapin, Esmeralda, thank you. Casey says sprinkling in James City as well, in Martin County. Generally south of 264 on the raindrops, but apparently a little bit sneaking a little further north. The clouds out there for everybody, and that rain on the radar will ease southbound. It's nothing real heavy, but dampening a few roads up here and there as you head out. Air temps from mid-30s north. That colder air will kind of hang up there and then head south later today, tonight, close to 50 further south. And you can see, James City, I'm sorry, yeah, over near New Bern. Let me go back to that. I got confused with Jamesville because I just got somebody from Jamesville chiming in. Let me go back.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I apologize, Casey. James City down by New Bern where those sprinkles are. All right, and again, cloudy, cool with a few AM raindrops. We'll see those winds out of the northeast at about 5 or so. Low 50s midday, and again, those colder temps. Watch the colder air coming in tonight. Clouds. Model's not picking up the raindrops over the southern counties They'll be gone though, I think, by late morning, midday. All right, afternoon clouds, low 50s. Here comes the colder air tonight. Wait for it. After midnight, we dive bomb down to the mid-20s Saturday morning. Clouds, yes. Rain, no. All right, same thing midday. Clouds, yes. Precipitation, no. No sleet, no snow yet. 4 or 5 o'clock, there it is. That's 7 p.m. I think 5 p.m.-ish start time. And then as we're sitting down to dinner, precipitation is filling in over all our backyards. Sleet mixed with some snowflakes, more to the snow side north, more to the sleet side south, and then pretty quick transition to freezing rain from sunset to midnight to rain on the coast. And you can see the green moving inland as we get into Sunday morning. Rain Highway 17 eastward, freezing rain to the west. All right, and those air temps trying to sneak up to 40 there as we get into Sunday afternoon. I think there'll be more precipitation than what you're seeing. Pretty good coverage of the rain to freezing rain. That Sunday afternoon map, if that verifies, the bulk of the wintry weather is along I-95 westward, and that's our hope. Sunday night, maybe a little low in the precip, and then as the cold front approaches, a swath of generally rain Sunday night into early Monday with a little mixing on the back edge as it exits around sunrise. All right, and again, the big map showing that storm. Brewing to the south, watch that swath of snow. This is a monster winter event just to our west and all points north of us. The swath of snow and mix rolls into the east. There's Sunday morning, rain along the North Carolina coastal counties, transitioning to the mix inland and kind of hanging that way through the day and into the overnight. And that transition to rain Sunday night. Monday morning, 8 a.m., pretty much a done deal. Most of the data says that rain will be off the coast by then. But the cold air is going to hang around all next week. That map you see Tuesday, that won't change all week. Look at this swath of winter storm warnings. That pink shading, those are all winter storm warnings from Albuquerque all the way to Pittsburgh. And later today, that'll include all of New England, probably, D.C., maybe to Richmond, Virginia as well. We've got I showed you our watches. Some of us, central North Carolina, certainly going to warnings to I-95, I think, as well. An amazing storm, the impacts and the swath of impacts. There's the 8-day, 51 today, 30 to 38 Saturday, Sunday. The first alert weather status Saturday really kicks in late day into the evening hours. And then the overnights will be first alert weather nighting Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night for that bitter cold 13 with more refreezing of any moisture.
All right, yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we've been talking about this morning is that that timing on Saturday being more so later in the day. Yeah. I know we do have a comment from Mo on Facebook asking about 3 p.m. in Goldsboro. Still sounding like, are we...
That's about the start time, Mo.
Okay.
3, 4 o'clock Goldsboro tomorrow afternoon. So
Gotcha.
You should be good up until then. But as that sun's getting low, as we're getting to sunset, which is about 5:15 or so, that's when the precip starts to settle in. So I would say tomorrow by 2, 3 o'clock, be working your way home if you're going to be out and about. Probably by 4 p.m. you generally want to be in because it's going to be light initially, but it's going to be so cold.
Right.
I don't think it'll take much precipitation to start getting icy spots, especially the bridges and overpasses by the evening hours on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important to keep in mind there. I know a lot of NCDOT trucks have been out and about all across eastern Carolina brining roads, but absolutely, like you said, probably just want to stay indoors, get back inside, kind of wait for it to all go away. I know you said the bulk of the storm will be happening kind of Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Yeah, but again, by mid to late afternoon, including in Dover, Karen, mid to late afternoon Saturday, kind of have things wrapped up. Again, Initially snow and sleet, changes to freezing rain to rain, most areas, as we go through tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, into Sunday.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for the update, Jim. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. I know we have a lot of people in our comments. I want to say good morning to all of you out there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll continue to have updates throughout the day today. Jim and I will be back at 8 a.m. for another update. Hope you can join us then. Have a great Friday.
Bye.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Toyota of Goldsboro.